wanted to share with you a couple of verses that I pray for our congregation. They come from Matthew chapter 11, and we read, this is what Jesus said. He said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light." Now, the picture of a yoke would have been very well understood in the first century, being what they would put two animals, two oxen, for instance, together, and they would pull a plow. And so for me, as I've prayed that for myself and for our church, is that number one, you can't travel any faster than what you're yoked to. Does that make sense? And so if we are yoking ourselves to Jesus, that means we're traveling at the speed that Jesus travels. And I wonder, I'm hoping that perhaps during the shelter in place, this time when we've slowed everything way down, that maybe that's happened for you. You've learned to slow down just a little bit. You've been at home more. Maybe you've spent more time with family. Maybe you've spent more time reading, hopefully reading His Word, more time in prayer and understanding, growing in your faith. That's one of the points I've taken from this passage. It's really not the primary teaching of the passage, though. The primary teaching is the yoke of a rabbi was his teaching. And so Jesus is saying, if you're tired of all the religious jargon, all of the burdens, all of the rules and regulations, take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I'm gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. Do you remember how Jesus boiled down his teaching? The first, most important commandment is love the Lord your God with all of your heart and soul and mind and strength. And the second is like it, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So love God first, most, and best, and love the people that you come into contact with like you love yourself. Want for them what you want for you, even the ones that are hard to get along with, even the ones you disagree with, whether it's politically or religiously or choices they make about how they'll live their life. Jesus says, love your neighbor as yourself. He said all of the law and the prophets hang on those two laws. And so I hope that today, perhaps, you will appreciate and embrace slowing down, being yoked to Jesus and moving at his speed, right? So slowing our life down a bit, because we never read of Jesus being in a hurry. And second, that you will take his teaching, what he would have us to do, what he said is most important, loving God and loving people. And my hope is that you can put that into practice today. Find one way today that you can show God that you love him first, best, and most. And then find a way to, in some very practical, tangible way, to love your neighbor. I hope you have a great day.